What if the reason people overlook you has nothing to do with your looks, your status, or your words, and everything to do with how easily you can be read? Most men are not ignored because they lack value. They are ignored because they leak it. They talk too much, explain too quickly, react too fast, and hand their inner world to people who never earned access to it. In a society that rewards performance, the rarest thing is not confidence. It is containment. And that is exactly why silent attraction feels so powerful. In this video, we are going to break down why a calm, restrained, self-possessed man becomes unforgettable without asking for attention. We will walk through 8 traits that create this kind of presence in the real world, at work, in relationships, in rooms where people are silently sizing each other up. And stay to the end, because the last point is where most men lose all of their quiet power without even noticing it. Silent attraction is often misunderstood. People think it means being cold, distant, or socially awkward. It does not. It means you are no longer desperate to be received well by everyone in the room. It means your energy is not begging for approval. It means your presence is not built on performance. That matters now more than ever. Modern life trains people to broadcast constantly. Post your thoughts. Explain your choices. Prove your worth. Defend your image. React instantly. But Machiavelli understood something uncomfortable about human nature: the crowd rarely respects what is easily available. And the world, for all its talk about authenticity, often rewards appearances, impulsive charm, and strategic masks. That is why the man who is grounded, difficult to provoke, and impossible to rush begins to stand apart immediately. This is not about becoming fake. It is about seeing through what is fake, then refusing to play the role society hands you. So let's go point by point. 1. The power of restraint. Most people waste their best energy trying to be noticed. They overshare in conversations. They explain themselves to people who already decided how to see them. They keep talking after the point has landed because silence makes them nervous. But restraint has weight. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." That idea still cuts through modern life. In practical terms, restraint means letting your conduct speak before your claims do. It means you do not chase the last word in every disagreement. You do not rush to defend your reputation in every room. You do not need every misunderstanding corrected on the spot. Think about the workplace. One man gets challenged in a meeting and immediately starts over-explaining himself, stacking words on top of words, trying to recover control. Another listens, answers once, clearly, then lets the room sit with it. The second man often appears stronger, not because he said more, but because he needed less. Restraint is attractive because it signals surplus. It tells people you are not starving for validation. 2. Unshakable composure. The most attractive man in the room is often the one who remains emotionally still when the room turns unstable. Epictetus taught that what disturbs us is not events themselves, but our judgment about them. In modern terms, your reaction is your public biography. It tells people whether you are led by yourself or by the mood of the moment. You see this everywhere. A rude comment. A delayed text. A shift in tone from someone you care about. Pressure from a boss. Disrespect disguised as humor. Most people react instantly, and in that instant they reveal how easily they can be moved. But the man with composure does something different. He pauses. He reads the room. He does not confuse urgency with importance. He understands that the first emotional impulse is often where manipulation begins. And that is where silent authority is born. Not in noise. Not in dominance theater. In the ability to stay steady while other people expose themselves through panic. 3. The aura of mystery. The more you reveal, the less people have to discover. The more you explain, the less gravity your words hold. Lao Tzu wrote, "Those who know do not speak. Those who speak do not know." Taken wisely, that does not mean silence for the sake of posing. It means selectivity. It means understanding that access should be earned. There is something the modern world does not admit openly. People say they want honesty, but they are often more drawn to depth than disclosure. Mystery creates tension. It gives your presence dimension. It tells others there is more beneath the surface than what is immediately available. In real life, this can be as simple as not narrating your entire plan before it becomes real. Not explaining your standards to people who only test them. Not dumping your personal history on someone just because the conversation got warm for 5 minutes. A quietly attractive man is not secretive because he is insecure. He is private because he has learned that not every room deserves the truth in full. 4. Purpose over pleasure. A distracted man is easy to replace. A purposeful man is hard to forget. Seneca warned that life is not short, we simply waste much of it. That lands even harder today. We live in a world built to fragment attention and weaken direction. Endless scrolling, shallow flirting, quick dopamine, constant comparison. Most men do not lose their power in one dramatic collapse. They lose it in tiny daily leaks. Purpose changes how a man moves. He is less available to nonsense because his life is already occupied by something meaningful. He does not chase every invitation, every temptation, every person who glances his way. There is a path beneath his feet, and people can feel it. This is part of silent attraction that rarely gets said clearly. People trust what looks self-directed. Not perfect. Not flashy. Directed. When a man knows what he is building, he stops radiating hunger. And hunger is what makes many men look weak without realizing it. 5. Indifference to opinions. Nothing weakens a person faster than outsourcing their worth to the reactions of others. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. That is not abstract philosophy. It is emotional survival in a performative culture. Many men spend years trying to become attractive while still being controlled by praise and criticism. A compliment lifts them too high. A rejection sinks them too low. A little attention makes them hopeful. A little disrespect makes them defensive. But real quiet confidence begins when you stop making other people the jury of your value. That does not mean you become arrogant or numb. It means your center of gravity moves inward. You can hear feedback without collapsing into it. You can be misunderstood without feeling erased. You can be disliked without feeling diminished. And in a society full of fragile egos hidden behind polished personas, that emotional independence is rare enough to be magnetic. 6. Mastery of presence. Some men walk into a room asking to be accepted. Others walk in already anchored. Before you ever speak, people read your posture, your pace, your stillness, your eyes, your breath. Presence is not a trick. It is the body telling the truth about the mind. Nietzsche warned that silent truths can become poisonous, and that matters here too. If your silence is repression, people feel the tension. But if your silence comes from self-command, people feel that too. One repels. The other draws attention without effort. This is why small details matter. The man who does not fidget constantly. The man who listens fully before answering. The man who is not scanning every face for approval. The man who can hold calm eye contact without trying to dominate the room. These signals are subtle, but they communicate a life lived with internal order. And internal order is one of the rarest luxuries left. 7. The strength to walk away. The man who cannot leave will eventually be controlled. This applies to conversations, negotiations, friendships, romance, and environments that slowly drain self-respect. Seneca said, "He who is brave is free." Sometimes bravery is not confrontation. Sometimes it is departure. A lot of men stay too long where they are tolerated, misread, used, or quietly disrespected. Not because they do not see it, but because they fear the emptiness that might come after leaving. That fear makes them cling. And clinging destroys attraction faster than almost anything. A silently attractive man understands loss differently. He knows that walking away is not always a performance of strength. Sometimes it is the most private proof of it. He leaves what insults his peace, even when no one applauds. That kind of self-respect is unforgettable because so few people practice it consistently. 8. Mastery over emotions. This is where everything comes together. A man ruled by anger, desperation, jealousy, or insecurity becomes readable, and once he becomes readable, he becomes manageable. Machiavelli would have recognized this immediately. Society often presents itself as moral while quietly studying your weaknesses for leverage. The moment your emotions become predictable, your strings become visible. Epictetus said, "Any person capable of angering you becomes your master." That line should stay with you. Emotional mastery does not mean becoming expressionless. It means your feelings are processed by you before they are performed for others. It means you do not let humiliation, desire, or fear grab the steering wheel. It means when others provoke, bait, withdraw, or test, they do not immediately gain access to your nervous system. This is what makes a man feel powerful to be around. Not because he is cold, but because he is governed. He can feel deeply without spilling everywhere. He can care without becoming captive. So if you want to become silently attractive, remember what truly creates it. Restraint gives your words weight. Composure makes your presence feel safe and strong. Mystery protects your depth from being consumed too cheaply. Purpose keeps you from looking hungry. Indifference to opinions frees you from the prison of performance. Presence reveals what your mouth does not need to say. Walking away proves your standards are real. And mastery over emotion makes you difficult to manipulate in a world built on reaction. In the end, silent attraction is not really about making people want you. It is about becoming so internally ordered that your presence carries consequence. People feel when a man is no longer begging life to confirm that he matters. They feel when he has suffered, learned, and stopped leaking himself into every room just to be seen. That is why silence can feel so commanding. Not because it is empty, but because it is full. If this spoke to something you have been learning the hard way, let me know in the comments. Which of these 8 traits do you think changes a man's presence the most in real life? And if you want more videos in the silent authority style, calm, sharp, psychologically honest, and built for the modern world, subscribe and stay close. There is a difference between being noticed and being respected. This channel is about the second one.